All right. Yeah, again, another episode of the Corporate Life Show with McAden. My name is Adeniyi Macarthy. I'm your host. And we do this every Friday evening, exactly on the hour of 7 o'clock. Today is an exception. We had some technical glitches and we had some delays. So we apologize for every delay and every impasse that our delay may have cost you. So sorry about that. And if you're joining us right now, remember this is Friday, the 10th of May, 2000. Information regarding the area of concentration tonight. Remember, tonight we're talking about how personal branding can affect your business and your employer's business So that's what we'll be discussing tonight. I mean, it's going to be a great topic. It's going to be a wonderful conversation. It's going to be an interesting conversation. So I will implore you, don't be selfish about the information we'll be sharing tonight at the Corporate Life Show with McAden. So share the link from wherever you're watching us from, whether on YouTube, on Facebook, on our popular platform LinkedIn for professionals. Please, wherever you're watching us from, share the link with your friends and let them watch, because this is about your career or business development. And with me in the studio is an expert. He's an expert on this particular topic. He has spent 10 years dealing and practicalizing the strategies he will be sharing with us tonight. And please do welcome with to the studio, Eze. Thank you very much, Mr. Eze, for joining us
Thank
tonight.
thank you,
How are you?
McAden. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, it's a wonderful night and it's a wonderful evening. Hope we've not taken you from your planned hangout for tonight's session.
No, not at all. Not at all. It feels good to be
Oh,
here, sharing what I love
yeah.
to do.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. It's always fantastic to be here at the Corporate Live Show with McAden. And some people will find it difficult to actually join the show live and direct. Please, when you watch a replay of this session, drop a comment. If you have questions, ask such questions. And I bet with you, just tag essay on the question and he will reply those questions, and anyone that calls my attention not responded to, I will definitely work on getting those questions answered. And if you're joining us live and direct, remember this is Corporate Live Show. This show takes place every Friday evening, 7 p.m. on the dot. We discuss matters arising in the corporate industry. We discuss jobs, we discuss career, we discuss business, we discuss family and marital issues as it may affect you in whatever area of industry you find yourself. And tonight we're talking about, yes, we are talking about how personal branding can affect your business or your employer's business. So tonight, Mr. Isi, can you tell us what do you think about the topic before we dive into the conversation?
Thank you very much again. So I think that it's a very good topic that you're bringing to your audience. It's important that people understand that. So when we speak about personal branding, let me demystify it a bit. Personal branding is not something complex, right? Personal branding is simply your reputation. What is the reputation that you have as an individual, and
Mm,
then that reputation also informs how people, deal with you. So if you have a very negative reputation, you cannot be an arm robber and then somebody wants to employ you as a banker,
mhm.
or as an accountant. So what you've said, right? It's a very important topic that I think everybody should listen to. Those who have the opportunity to join, and then those who will probably watch the replay, right? It's an important thing because reputation plays a very huge role in our society today. Your reputation matters. If you're going to get a new job, most cases in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, you still need a reference. Oh, what do you know this person? How have they been? What did they do before? Were they good at their job? Did they steal from you? Did they do this? So it's important that so personal branding is part of our everyday life. It's your reputation. It is what you do, how you do what you do, how you interact with people. and it's a defining factor in the world that we are in today. So thank you very much for that. I'll just leave it at that, then we'll delve into further questions as we go into the show. Can you hear me?
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Eze. Sorry, I was out for seconds. Mr. Eze, can you hear me, please?
Oh, okay. I think I can hear you now. I think I can hear you now.
Let's just move straight to the next to the conversation proper, because yes, tonight is going to be, and we do hope that more people join us. I mean, regarding the conversation we'll be having tonight, please drop your comment, discussing, and please drop your opinion, your comments, your suggestions regarding the area of conversation tonight. And tonight, like I said, we're discussing how it can affect your business if you're into business. And if you're working organization, organization is actually engaged in how does your personal affect organization business. So that's what we discuss. Our first question to you, say, I think it's about personal branding for the sake is personal branding. Why is it important for professional in today's era? Sorry, pardon me. Okay, sure. Mr. Issy, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's go straight to the question. Question number one. I hope you can see the question. Question one says, what a part. It's important for professional.
Yes. Thank you very much. So I can actually see the question, right? What is a personal brand and why is it important for professionals in today's era? So, like I mentioned earlier, personal branding is simply your reputation. It is everything that you do and do not do that contributes to how people see you and how they deal with you, right? So, personal branding is literally what people say about you. So, what do people say about you? Do you think that people saying who, Jesus Christ asked his disciple, "Who do men say that I am?" It's important that you ask this question: that who do people say that I am? And one of the ways that you can do this is to ask. I always tell people, take like three or two of your friends, genuine friends, ask them, what do you think about me? Do you think I'm a good person? Am I good at this? Am I a bad person? Now ask yourself, what they think about me, is it the same with what I think of myself? Now, if what people think about you and what you think of yourself aligns, then it means that you have a good reputation. So if you're a good person and then people think of you as a good person, then that's a good one. If you think that you're a helpful person, you're a team player, and people think of you as a team player, then that's a good one. But if people see you as a bad person, but you see yourself as a good person, then there's a problem there. Then you need to work on your reputation. And then how are reputation formed? Reputations are formed from your interactions and dealings with people. Now, in your family, you have a reputation. At church, you have a reputation. In the office, you have a reputation. How do these reputation align? Are you a good person in your home? Are you a good person at church? Are you a good person at work? So if you have negative reputation across board, it would affect your relationship in life, how people deal with you and then how they value you. And it is your reputation determines how much influence you have on people, how people value you. If you're a bad person, nobody wants to interact with bad people, nobody wants to give them businesses.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a team player, if you have a negative reputation in the office, if you're a bad person, you're not a team player, you will not last on that job. If you don't deliver results, you know, you will not last on that job. So everything that you do that contributes to your reputation positively or negatively is your personal brand. But those who are intentional
Mm.
about their personal brand are those who are committed to making sure that people perceive them for the right reasons. People perceive them for the right reasons, appreciate them for the right reasons, and they get opportunities for the right reasons when their names are mentioned. So, why is it important in this age and time for professionals? I'll tell you for a fact. The reputation that I have built today did not come from anywhere. It came from my work experience and how the people, today I'm respected within my space, and I even have friends and colleagues, even managers, recommend me for opportunities. Why? You see, everywhere, everywhere you go, you know, you leave a reputation. Everywhere you walk, everywhere you go, everywhere you interact, you leave a reputation there. And as professionals, you want to have a reputation that can get you jobs, secure you referrals, and get people to speak about you in a positive light that can draw opportunities to you. So it is not just about, oh, I want to build perception online, I want to be this. How are you also building your reputation within the organization that you work? The people, if you like, go and build a great reputation online as a good person online. But if the previous places that you've been working, you've been terrible, you've been delivering negative results,
Mm.
you know, it contributes to what people say about you. People say, this one that we worked with, that the company, there's some people who have worked with today that even my managers would say they can never recommend them anywhere. Right? So And this is why it is important that you understand that everywhere you walk contributes to your reputation. Anyone you meet and interact with also contributes to how they see you. If you treat people nicely, it adds to your reputation. And in this professional age and time, you need a
Mhm.
good reputation. In this digital age, basically, reputation is what will make you succeed. Who can recommend you? Who can speak well about you when you're not there? What are people saying about you in your home, in your church, you know? And then are you a good person online but a bad person offline? So
Mm.
you need to understand that. So regardless of how much impact you're putting online, build a good reputation. But if you've been a bad person, if you've been a terrible colleague, if you've been a terrible team member, if you've been a terrible church member, if you've been a terrible friend, it also contributes to your reputation. So basically, personal branding is your reputation. And what are those things that you do that contributes to your reputation negatively? Are you
Mm.
looking at them and then are you saying to yourself, oh, I want to change this or I want to transform that? So this is what personal branding is. And those who are in, everybody has a reputation. But the
Mm.
people who win with personal branding are those who are intentional about how people see them,
Mhm.
perceive them, and hear
Mhm.
them. So
Mm.
I think I'll just stop at that. I think that already covers for that question. So thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Please let's take the questions so that we can be sure that our questions are one step at a time. So we have questions being being tweeted before the question comes up. So thank you very much, Mr. It's a lot of things you said over there, but one thing is very powerful. What you said is how people see you, people see you, and you being intentional forms your personal brand. So take it out. And if you have a opinion to what Mr. Eze just said, please drop it in the comment section of play that on the screen. Our response to that opinion. So quickly, we want to go to the next question. Question two is: what are the elements of a stronger personal brand just now? I don't know. Let's be sure that that has been cleared out.
What are the elements of a strong personal brand? Is that the question?
Yes.
Is that the, what are the elements of a strong personal brand? So what I would say is what makes what makes a great personal brand, right? It is literally your when it comes to personal brand, and when you say elements, right? It basically has to do with everything that contributes to your personal brand. How do you speak to people? Are you great at speaking to people? Do you speak to people well?
It's coming from your hand.
Um,
Your voice is
so
crying.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? So one of the good elements. So so the elements of a strong personal brand is your communication.
Mm-hmm.
How you interact with people. Now, are you great at communicating what you are good at and what you do? Some people are good
Mm.
at so many things, but they are terrible at communicating it. And then people
Mm.
now think of them as, oh, not being good at this stuff. Now, your behavior, your behavior is a major contributor to your personal, which is your reputation.
Mm.
You see that people when they say, oh, how is Emeka, how is Tunde? Oh no, Tunde has always been a great child. He greets me when before I even say this person, he greets me. So your behavior contributes to your personal brand. Your communication, how you communicate with people and interact with people, your behavior, how do you treat people? Do you treat people well? Do you treat people badly? It contributes to how people see you. Appearance. Appearance plays a very huge role, in your personal brand. Appearance is, how do you carry yourself professionally when you dress, when you go out? How do you appear? Do you always appear dirty? Do you always appear like somebody who does not know what they are doing. So it's important that you take your appearance seriously. So communication, behavior, appearance, you know, and then one of the fourth thing again, one of the fourth most important thing again is, your digital presence, which is what do you post online, what do you share online, what do you share on your status, what do you share, in the digital space. What's your digital presence like? I always tell people, do not say, "Oh, it's just for bands. I can share anything that I like. It's my life." No, what you put online today informs how people perceive you. If you keep posting about negative things, let's say you keep posting about what you speak about mostly online is what people will consider you as. If I start posting about shoes today when I speak about personal branding, every time I speak, when my name is mentioned, say, "Oh, the branding guy, oh, branding this." So it's important that anything that does not add to your reputation positively, do not post online. If it does not improve your reputation for good and it contributes to your reputation negatively, please do not add it online. So if you need what the elements of a strong personal brand: communication, behavior, appearance, and then having a good digital presence in today's world. So yes. McAden, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to believe you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you very much. Communication is very important, and a very good personal brand visibility on social media platforms. Those are things like that conversation. So now, if you're like us, because I want to quickly move on to question three. Question three is what are the misconceptions? What are misconceptions and personal branding cheap or expensive to achieve? Achieve about personal branding a lot. What are the misconceptions about it? And then what? I mean, what does it take to actually achieve a good personal brand? That's question three.
I didn't quite get that.
Question three is what are the misconceptions about branding and not branding cheap or expensive?
So one of the misconceptions that people have about personal branding is that it's difficult. Oh, I need somebody to help me build my personal brand. That I need to probably sit down somewhere. Yes, um, people like us would help you gain better clarity with your personal brand and then how to position it, right? But what you do every day at work, at home, at your church, at social interactions with your friends also contributes to your personal brand. So you don't say, "Oh, when I now start making this money, or when I already get a job, before I now start building my reputation, I start building my personal brand." So this is one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have. And then a lot of people just think that personal branding is just online. Oh, I need to have my personal brand has to be online. I need to be saying good things about myself online. But I'll tell you for a fact, at home, my family knows that branding is my life. My friends recommend me for opportunities because when we interact, I speak about branding. At church, people know that this is what I do and I speak about it with passion and I offer advice. A lot of them don't follow me online, but my daily interactions with people make them trust me enough because they've seen what I do. So don't wait till, okay, maybe you build a presence online before you now have a brand. You already have a reputation. Is a maker a good person in the house? Is McCarthy, what do people consider McCarthy to be in the neighborhood? Is he somebody who is helpful? Is he a cheerful giver? Is he respectful? All these things contribute to who you are. And then when opportunities come, would they be able to recommend you? So your personal branding literally is your reputation. Can your reputation speak for you? When people mention your name, oh, let's call Eze. Who should we recommend for this opportunity? In my neighborhood now, quite a number of you look up to me as somebody who has given them direction, and I've lived a life that is consistent with whatever I'm saying online. So when it comes to personal brand, don't be don't be a bad person, don't be a negative influence within your community, within your home, and then expect people to value you. So everything that you do, your interactions with people, how you communicate, how you speak to people, how you help people, contributes to how people would value you. So this is one of the misconceptions. So it is how you behave around people around you, your family, your church, your community of influence, the circle of influence contributes to your reputation. So don't think that, oh, it is personal branding is how people see me online. No, it also has to do with everything that you do that contributes to your reputation. Everything that you currently do. Can people recommend you for opportunity? Can people reach out to you for help? Are you somebody who pushes people off? So you need to look at these things. So this is one of the so many misconceptions that people have. You are a bad person in real life, but you want to be a good person online. If there's a mismatch between who you are in real life and who you are online, there will be conflict. I've seen so many people who have built great reputation online, but the people who have interacted with them and dealt with them on a daily basis or regular basis, who grew up with them, know them to be bad people. And then you cannot be treating people in real life negatively and then not think that that negative reputation would affect your online reputation. So it's important that there is a match between who you are in real life and who you are also building online. So that's the misconception. If you so Personal branding really is about building good reputation for yourself. A good reputation that can create opportunities for you, that can get you jobs, and you can be recommended by people. So is personal branding cheap or expensive to achieve? So for a start, become a good person. Be somebody people love, people can run to for help. That's the first step of build. Once you build a good reputation within your circle of influence, then that's something. Then what do you now do? You take it a notch higher. You go online, create a reputation for yourself, speak about what you currently do, how you're impacting people in real life, get people to speak about what you currently do and how good of a person that you are. Now, so I will not say personal branding is expensive or cheap. So you can start out building a good reputation for yourself. And how can you do that? Be a good person. Be helpful to people around you. Do not entertain bad behaviors. Let your values, let people know the type of value what you represent. And then when the values that you live in real life becomes good, that people can speak well about you, when you go online, these are the same people who would also help you amplify who you are. So but where personal branding can become expensive is when you now have to pay an expert to guide you on finding clarity. So now when you define what you want to do, people already know, oh, okay, people know me to be a great speaker. I've always been speaking as a child. Like Fela Drotoye would say, he was always that child that likes
So
to
you can
speak.
let me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Hello. Yes, I can hear you, please. Yeah, so I was saying that, personal branding is not expensive, but when you want to get a professional to help you
Easy.
get clarity. Yes, I can hear you now.
Show we finding some issues affecting our night, and we apologize for those discomfort you may be having from your hand, having to hear and see us have this conversation. Remember, this is Corporate Live Show with McAden. This show takes place every Friday evening. We bring in specialists to have this conversation because we believe people in business. And that's one of the things we're doing tonight. Conversation landing as to how it can what affect your personal business or the business of your employer of your employer. Thank you very much. So it has been a while to back giving us points, strategies to what help us do better in our personal branding strategies. So I would actually love to for at the moment to your screen of your phone or your laptop to topic. We can continue with the show. Mr. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm having difficulty seeing your face. That's why I'm asking. All right, thank you very much for that question. Anyway, I think I will have to do a refresh from my hand here to be able to see you properly. Okay, so let's move on to question 5. Okay, you're back. Thank you.
Yes,
Question 5.
please.
Okay, I think we're going to question 4. Question 4 is: can my personal brand affect my business or employer, my employer's business or organization? Can these be? I mean, can there be a conflict between?
Okay, so what's the question again? Can your
Question is not brand affect my business or employer. Um,
okay, so
organization to when trying to buy a
oh, okay, so um
brand and
yeah, so I see the
then
question on the screen now.
your
Can my
organization brand.
oh, okay, yeah, so I get the question now. Um can my personal brand affect my business? So um like I mentioned earlier, right? You cannot you cannot have a bad reputation with people who live around you, your place of work. So for example, somebody who imagine somebody um who is terrible at selling, that everybody, or somebody who is a thief. Imagine somebody who is a thief now decides that he wants to start um, he wants to start a POS business, or a bank business to help people save money. Nobody would go to that person to save money, because that person has a reputation already for being a thief, right? So, can my personal brand affect my business? Yes. If you have a negative reputation already amongst people who know you, who you influence, then nobody would want to do business with you. Today, as a person, I have had I've recommended my friends' businesses to several people. Why? Because a lot of people trust my judgment when it comes to the quality of the things that I use or buy. So you want to be that type of person who people trust. So a lot of people today, when they start up any business, they will succeed, right? Because they are good people and people trust them. And they've built that reputation over time because they've been good to people. Because it is not just you don't build a reputation by telling people that you are good. You build a reputation by showing people that you are good, right? So, um, personal a negative reputation, a negative personal brand can affect your business. And if you have a good reputation, a good personal brand, it can also boost your business. So now, when it comes to how does my personal brand affect my employer's brand? So where it affects your employer's brand is, for example, you have a good reputation already online. People respect you for what you do, and but whatever you do, as long as it does not conflict the interest of the company. For example, you cannot use your personal brand to be taking businesses that is meant for your organization for yourself, or using the goodwill of your organization's name to make money for yourself. Once there's a conflict of interest where the value that is supposed to be gotten, the organization is supposed to get, you are now taking it as an individual, then there's a problem there. I have a very strong personal brand, which is literally about helping businesses build reputation. It does not conflict with what my company does, but rather I use the name and awareness that I've built to help my organizations reach out to people who are influential, who will check my page and want to listen to me. So I've actually used my personal brand reputation that I've built over the years to bring in business for my organization. You see that I have used my personal brand to add value to my organization. But if my personal brand, rather than adding value to my organization, takes value from my organization to just myself, then there's a conflict, right? So you cannot also be using organization's time to be growing your reputation or build your reputation, and then not expect them to complain. So that's a problem there. So as long as there's no conflict, if you understand what your organization represents, and then there's no conflict of interest where what you currently do personally does not take away from your business, then you're good. So I hope that answers your question. Um, so for those who of you are still online, we're speaking about how personal branding can influence, affect your business or your employer's business. And simply put, personal branding is your reputation. It is how people see you, what they think of you, and then do they value you? What value do they place on you as a result of what they think about you, right? So this is what we've been speaking about. So if you're just joining, if you've got questions, drop them. Would be glad to take them all. Thank you, guys.
we've been battling with some network issues, and I really apologize for the network. Mr. Ese, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay, I thought you would have hosted the ground. I mean, continue the conversation with the audience. Anyways, I'm back
No,
here.
yes, I did actually. Right. So,
So sorry.
I actually went back on what we've been speaking about with the audience, and for those who are just joining, I explained what we've been discussing about, and then updated them so far.
All right, thank you very much. We will be up the conversation shortly with two more questions to go quickly before our time elapses. So, thank you very much. That was question 4 that we just finished treating. We'll be moving straight to question 5, and we'll be wrapping up the conversation. For talk a little bit more about, since we'll be wrapping up the conversation, let me just jump a little bit uh, to something clear to an area individual, personal brand positively contribute to their employer's reputation and business objective. That's question number 8, if I'm correct. Because of our time, we need to catch up with other important questions.
So, how can professionals ensure that their personal brand positively
Contribute
um,
contribute to their employer's reputation and business objective.
okay, so I want to tell people that um, when you have what do we when we speak about personal brand, like I mentioned, it's about your reputation, right? So it is not just about being online, right? So as an employee, what is your contribution to the organization? Do you just see yourself as somebody who just comes to work just to make a living, or do you see yourself being somebody who wants to contribute? If you're an accountant, I want to be the best accountant within my industry. You're looking for ways, looking for ideas to contribute to your organization. Oh, and these are better ways that we can optimize costs within the organization. And that way, when you add value to your organization in ways beyond what your job description is, you become more of an asset to that organization than just any other person. So one of the reasons, I'll use myself as an example, right? Every company that I've joined, I have literally leveraged my reputation of being somebody who people can reach out to. I've always been a helpful person. I went above and beyond to speak about what normally my job as brand manager is to manage certain things within the organization. But I went above and beyond to use my profile everywhere I go, every meeting that I go. Oh, I work for this organization. This is what we are doing. And from how I was speaking, I got from LinkedIn 2017. Somebody from the World Bank reached out to me. I was at the World Bank office with my MD to speak about what we currently do within the organization and then how we can help female startups. So it is important that employees or professionals know that your job has so much contribution to what you become, or it has so much contribution to your career growth or the reputation when you're building a career brand, right? So it's important that every organization that you work, you make sure that you live there with an exceptional reputation. Be somebody who contributes to your employer's growth, not just them. So I know so many of my colleagues that my MD used to say, "Oh, these ones they just come to the office once it's 5 o'clock, they go home. They do not add any other value to the organization." So you don't want to be that type of person. I'll tell you, people might not people might not comment on what you do within the office every time, but they actually see what you do. And where you'll be shocked and surprised is when you need recommendation. So I always tell people, can your employer, even after leaving, recommend you for an opportunity or even call you to hang out with him? All
Mm.
the MDs that I've worked with, I still hung out with a very important, a prominent Nigerian who was my MD some months ago. Why? Because I left a good reputation at the organization. I gave my all to that organization. So I'll tell you, as a professional, make sure you go above and beyond. Don't just go to work every day. So I'm just going to do what they tell me to do. In what ways can you also contribute? Oh, I'm a marketer within I'm an accountant within the banking space. What are the new things that you're also adding to your organization? What ideas are you also contributing to your organization? So you can use your personal brand, you can use your reputation. I've used my reputation on LinkedIn to bring clients for my business, and that's why my MDs would always respect me, right? So, and as professionals, how do you build a reputation? Your career, literally every job you take contributes to your reputation. Today, when I speak about what I've done in branding, why people respect me and I get speaking opportunities, it is because of the results that I've achieved in companies that I've worked for. So as a professional, can your results speak for you? And can your reputation as an individual, in terms of the work that you deliver, can it also speak for you? Can you leverage your work experience, what you've done for several organizations or the organization that you work? Can people say, oh, this guy was a great guy, working with this person was like the best? I have so many recommendations. I have some recommendations on my LinkedIn. These are not recommendations that I asked these people to go and put there. These were colleagues that had seen what I've done. I was not just a brand manager, I was also concerned about my team members' growth. I use what I know to help people who are around me. So you need to be able to contribute beyond your job role if you want to build a reputation that would, get you the right respect within your career, as a professional, if you're building your brand. So I think it says, how can professionals ensure that their personal brand positively contributes to their employer's reputation and business objective? Yeah, so like I've said, it's important that you do great work. Great work would give you a good reputation, and a good reputation would also drive influence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's quickly move to the just 2 minutes, nothing less. I mean, more than 2 minutes. Just quickly, a quick response to this question. That's question. That should be question nine. Question nine. How can one leverage one's unique personality and strength in enhancing one's professional reputation? Because you've been mentioning reputation.
Oh, okay. So, how can one leverage one's unique personality and strength to enhance one's professional reputation? So, for those who are just joining, right, in the beginning when I was speaking, right, it's important that you have clarity in life. You need to, understand. Like I said, when it comes to personal branding, if you want to be intentional about your personal brand, which is literally your reputation, you need to ask yourself honest questions and then ask the people who are around you honest questions. So now, before you leverage your personality, oh, what do you want to do? So I'm going to use myself as an example. Oh, growing up, everybody always said to me that, oh, Eze, before I knew I wanted to be on radio, TV, or even do branding, a lot of people, most of the people who know me, who have met me, when they hear me speak and say a few things, they just say, oh, you have a great people skills, you need to be in radio, you need to be doing PR. And I'll tell you for a fact that most of my friends, when I got clarity, a lot of people say, oh, Eze, you're really good at speaking, you need to take this seriously. So you also need to identify what are your personality strengths, what are your personality, what are these things that you like, that you enjoy to do, and then you now find a career within your strength. I'll tell you, so in 2013, when I was leaving school, I already knew I was great at speaking. I was great at helping people. People were comfortable speaking to me about their problems. And for some reason, I always have like the right words for them. I took a psychometric test in 2013. And that test literally just showed me what my strengths are. Public speaking, people skills, um, PR and advertising. So, and then I went to go and do certifications along that line. And then when
Okay.
I started taking jobs that were more in line with my strength and the things that I love to do. So if
Mm.
you want to build a reputation, right, you need to build a reputation around the things that you love, the things that you're naturally strong at doing, and the things that you enjoy. One of my mentors said to me, I said, "Oh, Steve Harris." In 2013, I reached out to him. I said, "I love, I love to do so many things, but I don't know what to follow." And he said,
Okay.
"Which is that one thing that when you do, you don't even know when time has gone, you are doing it, or when you are sleeping, you're thinking about that thing?" And me is speaking about, I like to talk, and speaking about helping
Yeah.
people, you know,
We can see
doing
that.
things that I'm passionate about. See, when I'm speaking about the
Okay.
things that I love, I can speak about the things that I love for hours, right? So
Okay.
it's important that you identify the things that you're good at, what you love to do, and then ask people around you, those who have been around you, what do you think of? Do you think this is my strength? Get a honest feedback.
All right.
If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people says, no, this is not your strength, don't think that it is your strength, because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot, so as human beings, right? How can I show that I'm good? If I
Yeah.
think to myself that I'm good, but people do not think that I'm good, it means that I have a problem with myself. So you need
Mm.
to understand, if do what people think of me, does it match what I think of myself? If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people thinks that, oh man, you're not good at this at all and you shouldn't try it, and then you're adamant, you might not succeed at that. So thank you very much. I hope that I answers that question. Oh, okay, the 10th question says, how can professionals measure the impact of their brand
Yes,
on their
that's question 10.
business?
Yes, question 10.
Yeah,
That's question
so
10. Go
um
ahead, please.
what I would say is, when
Very
I was
short,
speaking
please. Very
earlier
short.
on, so when I was speaking earlier on, I spoke about how your reputation affects everything that you do. If you are a bad person, if you start selling something today, nobody would buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody around you knows you to be a criminal or an armed robber, you cannot say you want to start banking business and anybody wants to put money with you, right? So
Of course not.
today, when so it is not just about the reputation I've built online. When I tell people, oh, I'm doing a masterclass on branding, I have work colleagues. Two of the jobs that I've gotten, where I currently work, I've gotten colleagues refer me
Mm-hmm.
that Eze, I've gone for jobs that I did not do any tests. The MD just, oh, you were referred, and I had an interaction. Why?
Mm.
Because I've left a lasting reputation on my colleagues, and they've seen the result that I delivered for the company that we both work. If people around you cannot recommend you or trust you, then it means that you need to work on your reputation. And if you have a bad reputation, it would affect everything that you do. So now, how can you measure
Mm.
your reputation? You need to be able to take honest feedbacks. Ask people around you, is there something you're not doing right? You know, are you, oh, okay, you know what? You see, you're smart, but you always like to do things alone. So take feedbacks. Feedbacks will help you change. 10 years ago,
Thank
I
you.
was not considered an expert. If I told you, oh, I want to train you on, nobody will listen to me because they know I don't have the right expertise yet. And I've not even gotten there yet to lead anybody.
Mm,
So it's important that you take feedbacks because the only way you can change what is bad, it is to know that thing that is bad and then work on it to improve. And then when you
thank
improve
you.
that, you see that when you are kind to people, people will be kind to you. If you
Mm,
stay away from people, people will also stay away from you. And so that is life. So you need to understand that as professionals, constantly measure your interactions with people, how people see you, how you speak to people, how you help them, what you guys do, So because everything, every action and inaction contributes to how people see you and perceive you. And you want to have a good perception because the people who win in life are those people who people perceive them to be good and trust them. So regularly take feedbacks on areas, ask people, ask your friends, ask mentors, oh, which area do you think I can improve on? Where do I need to change? And you will realize that when you evaluate your reputation and value on a regular basis, you'll be able to grow better and improve. So thank you very much.
thank you very much. Lastly, session to an end with this very short. Please be precise with your response to this. How do you feel about it in 1 minute? Not in more than 1 minute. There was an issue recently on the social media on the social media platform where a case of a lady who asked to stop sharing content regarding the company's product, and so this uh, became something on the social media platform. But then uh, behind the story, a lot of things also happened. Feel about it.
Oh, okay. So um, people need to understand that they are your employers, right? You need to understand you don't just go and start speaking about what your organization currently does, what they currently do, right? Without speaking to maybe the brand manager or so I see that a lot of young people, it's great to want to speak about where you work, right? Or posting. So when it comes to posting about products, you need to be careful. So what is your current reputation online? Are you the type of person who the employer wants to be speaking about their products? Do you have that? What is your brand equity as an employee? Are you that type of employee that your manager would say, oh, speak about us? So it's important that, most organizations have brand guidelines. So it is not everybody that they want to be speaking about their business. So you need to be creative about so you don't necessarily need to post about your product, but you can speak about your company in a good light. So take for example, rather than me posting that, oh, Advancio sells or we build this product, I can say, I can just write on my page, Advancio is solving problems in Africa. Take a look at what they are doing. And then I'm not speaking so much about the product, right? So you need to understand that me, when I speak about my organization or businesses, I have had that conversation with the management team and the people within the organization. So there's certain things that I can speak about. So why employers are very careful about employees speaking about them is so that you do not go and say something that affects the organization negatively. And then that as an individual, what you do you might not get, so your actions will now be taken as the organization's own actions. So it is important that you understand that your organization is different from you. If you want to speak about your organization, you need to understand how your organization wants to be spoken about online, because once there is negative PR for on you, let's say for example now, mistakenly this person who is speaking about the organization online now goes to steal something or does something negative, now they would not take the action. People would not just see the person as just that individual. They will see the person as, oh, so that works for so organization. Now that person has brought a negative PR to the organization that they are working for, right? So that is why organizations are very careful about how people speak about them. So it's important that you understand how your company wants to be spoken about, and you don't necessarily always have to write about your company every time, right? There are strategic ways to speak about your company to draw awareness to your company. Thank you very much. I hope that I answered your question. So please, before you start posting online about your company, your organization's products, please ask ask people, ask the brand manager, ask the management team, oh, can I speak about what we do here? Can we speak? So if you work for like an NGO, yes, you can speak about almost everything you do. But there are some organizations that you work for, you need to be careful about how you speak about them online. So you cannot be working for KPMG or PwC, where you handle government confidential information, and then you're now speaking about what you do, and then you now put um, information that should not be privy to the public out there. So then that's a problem. So you need to be careful, understand, and then your reputation, so that whatever you do or say does not contribute negatively to the business. So it's important to understand how your organization wants to be communicated about online, and then how they also want people to speak about them. So when organizations say, oh, don't speak about us, it is not because they hate you. It is because over time they've seen people speak about the organization, and then mistakenly said something that they shouldn't have said, and then the organization now has to defend itself from somebody who is not the public relations person of the organization. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope that this has been helpful. You can always reach out to me if you got questions, and I'll be glad to help out. Thank you so much.
you to all those who join us in the conversation tonight. And Mr. Eze, is there any last word you want to give to our audience before we go?
So the last thing I'll just say to you is, please be intentional about building a reputation for yourself, both offline and online, right? Um, you need to be intentional about how you interact with people, how you treat people, and then even within your organization as a professional. One of the reputation that I've built today, I owe it to everywhere that I've worked. I've been a good team member to my colleagues. I have managed relationships with my MD well. You know how I communicate, how I dress. So you need to be intentional about everything that you do as a person, because what you think people do not see, they see. It is now when you need something from them that you realize that, oh, I have been a terrible person to this particular people, right? So it's important that you're intentional about how people see you, how you speak to people, how you deal with people, and then how you also do your job is important as a professional. So be intentional about everything. Be intentional about getting results. Be intentional about being a great team player. Be intentional about self-development. So everything that you do contributes to your reputation. Thank you very much. So McAden, yeah. So I've concluded my part. Like I said, I just said people should be intentional about their reputation, because everything they do contributes to, you know, how people would value you. So if you have a negative reputation, if people do not see you in a good light, they will not do business with you. They will not trust you. They will not hire you. So it's important that you're intentional about your reputation.